Okay, so fats, what are fats? They're best known as lipids, right? The lipids can further be classified as simple lipids, which are triglycerides, compound lipids, which are phospholipids, and then derived lipids, which are cholesterol. The term lipid is applied to a group of naturally occurring substances characterized by their insolubility in water, greasy feel, and solubility in organic solvents, right? And do you know, if you accumulate like 1 kilogram of adipose tissue, it will correspond to 7,700 kilocalories of energy, right? And the fat, it is basically accumulated in the form of adipose tissue in our body. Okay, so as you can see, this is the structure of fatty acid, right? And basically they're divided into two further types: saturated and unsaturated. And unsaturated fatty acids are further divided into mono and polyunsaturated fatty acids. Basically, the polyunsaturated fatty acids, they are mostly found in vegetable oils, right? On the other hand, fish oils, although they are not vegetable oils, contain poly and monounsaturated fatty acids both. ठीक है, अब ये structure आप देख रहे हैं, you can see the structure. There's a long carbon and hydrogen chain. Yeah, you guys must have studied it in biochemistry properly. But basically, carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen compose fatty acids. Okay, these are the definitions of essential fatty acids and non-essential fatty acids. Basically, non-essential fatty acids are those that can be synthesized in the body, so you don't need it from dietary sources, right? But what are essential fatty acids? Essential fatty acids are those that cannot be synthesized by humans. They can be derived from only food. That's why they are essential. The most common the most important essential fatty acids acid is linoleic acid, which serves as a basis for the production of other essential fatty acids like linolenic acid and arachidonic acids. What are the sources of fats? The dietary sources of fats, they can be classified under the headings of animal fats, vegetable fats, and then there are other sources, right? So the animal fats would include ghee, butter, milk, derived from animals like pigs, cows, and sheep. And then there are also they are mostly saturated fats, right? Okay, coming to the vegetable fats. Some of the plants, they store fat in their seeds, right? So like groundnut, mustard, olives, beans, okay, and fruits like avocados, of course. Then there are other sources which can be found in things like fish, and then there are trouts, and even the fruits. It can be added in this category under other sources. Visible and invisible fats. Its name pretty much gives you an idea, and visible. Visible fats are those that are separated from the natural sources. The foods that can be purchased and used as fats, such as butter or cooking oils, margarine, right? And then there are invisible fats, fats that are not immediately noticeable, like the fats in the egg yolk, in cheese, in cream, and in salad dressings. अच्छा जी, functions of fats. I hope you guys are not bored. These are very basics. ठीक है, you guys already know about this. बस एक दफ़ा सुन लो ध्यान से, तुम लोगों को दोबारा पढ़ने की भी ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. अच्छा, okay, having said that, what are the functions of fat? We all know that fats are very, high yield energy providing substances, foods. They provide as much as 9 kilocalories for every gram, right? So basically, what do? They give us energy, like just I told you, improves the taste of food that we all know. Fatty foods are very yummy. Then they substance form करती हैं, feeling of fullness देती हैं. They aid in the absorption of fat soluble vitamins, which is very important. A, D, E, K, fat soluble. You'll study it in detail in the following lecture. Then they provide you insulation and protection. Essential fatty acids are required for growth and many body processes. अच्छा जी. Coming to hydrogenation, you guys already know about this, ठीक है? Basically, as the picture it shows, at the left side you can see there are vegetable oils which are liquid, and then at the right side you see, the arrows is converting it into a solid, a creamy, stick margarine. So when vegetable oils are hydrogenated under conditions of optimum temperature and pressure in the presence of a catalyst, the liquid oils are converted into semi-solid and solid fat, which is, and this process it is known as hydrogenation. ठीक है, इसको आप वनस्पति घी ये भी कह सकते हो. Okay, fats and disease. As you all know, fats, they're very yummy. Everyone loves to eat junk food that are full of fats. But they come in handy when you overeat fats. The basic, the most important two conditions that occur due to eating excess of fat are obesity, and then there are coronary heart disease, right? So also there is phrenoderma. Phrenoderma is basically a deficiency of essential fatty acid in the diet. So which includes, which will result in rough and dry skin, toad skin, जिसको कहते हैं. This occurs due to the deficiency of fat. Fat is leading to this disease. Then overeating, more consumption of fat results in obesity, जो कि you guys already know. Then there are coronary heart diseases, um, good fats and bad fats. I'll explain it in the next slide. And then last but not the least, cancers. Cancers have been associated with the increase in fat intake, in uh, recent researches. Then if you don't have enough fat, it can result in malnutrition as well. Guys, these are the good, the bad, and the ugly fat according to the American Heart Association, right? So I've downloaded this file from their site, and you can very clearly see that mono unsaturated and polyunsaturated fats are good. ठीक है. इनके examples are oils, fatty fish, avocados, nuts and seeds. ठीक है, they are good fats. You need to have these fats in your diet. Then the saturated fats are bad, because why? Because they can raise your bad cholesterol levels. बैड कोलेस्ट्रॉल लेवल क्या है? LDL, VLDL, ये आपको पता है, ठीक है. देन दे कैन लो द गुड कोलेस्ट्रॉल लेवल्स, वो क्या है? वो HDL है. कैन इंक्रीज रिस्क ऑफ हार्ट डिजीज एंड स्ट्रोक. ठीक है. सोर्सेज इसकी मोस्टली बैड कोलेस्ट्रॉल की सोर्सेज मोस्टली कहाँ से आती हैं? एनिमल सोर्सेज हैं. एग्जाम्पल: beef, pork and chicken fat, cheese, butter, tropical oils. Then the ugly, which should absolutely be not included in your diet, right? There are hydrogenated oils, and then there are trans fats. The examples are fried food, baked goods, stick of margarine. Things that we basically love to have are the ugly fats. What are the fat requirements, right? According to WHO, um, it it should be between 20 to 40 grams per day, minimum level of total fat should be, right? In high amount of monounsaturated oils should be included. Less saturated fats should be included in the diet. 20 to 25% of total caloric intake, should be fat. Okay, class. It's time to study about carbohydrates. Don't worry, the lecture is about to finish. Carbohydrates, in like 4 or 5 slides. right? What are carbohydrates? Okay, it is a major source of energy. There are, different types of, like, there are simple carbohydrates, there are complex carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates means simple sugars. Complex means complex would include starch and then fiber. uh, both of the simple and the complex type of carbohydrates are found in food. Bread, pasta, rice, noodles, fruits, vegetables, milk and dairy products, pastries, cakes, and they can be converted into glucose, which is a smaller unit, for use as energy by the body. Now, simple carbohydrates, they are referred to as simple sugars and are often sweet to taste, right? Like glucose, fructose, and sucrose. Um, then there are complex carbohydrates, which, as we studied in the previous slide, include starches. And the plant and the wood fibers are known as cellulose. What are the sources of carbohydrates? How do we get carbohydrates? As we discussed, starch is a complex type of carbohydrate, and it is derived from cereal and roots and tubers. The simple carbohydrates like sugar are derived from honey, glucose, white sugar. Then there was cellulose, which is also part of complex carbohydrate. It is derived by it is indigestible, and it contributes to dietary fibers, right? Which is, वेस्टेज जो आपके होता है वो बनाने के लिए सेल्यूलोज plays an important part. What are the daily requirements for children? Daily requirements of carbohydrates are 60 to 250 grams. For adolescents, they are 400 grams. For men, there are 300 to 700, and for women, they are 240 to 400 grams. Sorry, वो बीच में there was a drawing. Okay, guys, to understand about this, the picture that is shown, you need to know about the glycemic index, right? What is glycemic index of a food? Basically, it is defined by the area under the 2-hour blood glucose response curve, right? For example, you ingest a fixed portion of carbohydrate, right? Usually 50 grams as a proportion. Now you need to see what is its glycemic index. Some foods, they contain different fractions of soluble and insoluble fibers, right? So slow release of sugar into small intestine and its absorption into blood results. They are therefore termed as low glycemic index food as compared to the high glycemic index foods, which are readily digestible and which are absorbed easily. So that was about glycemic index. Now these are some of the glycemic index. It's the index of some foods which are considered high glycemic index food, medium glycemic index food, and low glycemic index food. Right? If you get the score of 70 and above, then the foods like donut, potato, cola, corn, instant noodles, popcorns, okay, they will be referred as high glycemic index food. If you get a score of glycemic index score of 56 to 69, then they would be named as medium GI food. Okay, the examples are, you can see, there are burger buns, pasta, ice cream, pastry, mango, muffins. Then the low glycemic index food include banana, white corn, apple, tomato, milk, brown rice, green tea. To get that, the score is 55 and under. Okay, thank you so much, class, for being there, for listening to my lecture. If you guys have any queries, you guys can ask me directly. Okay, this was a very basic lecture from the topic of nutrition. It will be followed by lectures from other teachers regarding vitamins and minerals, etc. Okay, so see you guys. Allah Hafiz.